Hello guys, today we are looking at Quarkus command line interface. The Quarkus command line interface can be used to make installations. It is a set of tools to help us create, manage extensions, build, and the dev commands Quarkus using the underlying project build tool. So let's look at how to install first of all. So let's get a fresh tab of the terminal here in Mac. So and my install management normally done with brew, but you can use other things. If you are a person who uses SDK man, you can use that, or maybe if you use chocolatey, that is also fine, but for this tutorial we'll be using brew. So let's installing the Quarkus command line is easy. Command to do that. So let's say brew Quarkus IO. I'll attach a link in the description where you can get the details of this step by step. So now as blue is installing, let's give it a short time so that it can install our command line. So Quarkus is very good. It's a very convenient way to make your API server application, and those of you who are interested in making microservices, Java is your guy. So Quarkus is your guy. So Quarkus is very good in cloud applications. Run in Docker. First of all, learn how to install the Quarkus CLI and see how to go about it. So blue installation is complete. So we now have Quarkus CLI installed. Let us check that. For us to check, type Quarkus. So we need to check by typing Quarkus -version. So we have 2.90 final, and so that's the current version of the Quarkus CLI. So Quarkus CLI installation is complete, and now it means now we can start to use the Quarkus command. Now that we have Quarkus CLI installed, we can now start to use the Quarkus command. And first of all, let's see what this command can offer us by typing Quarkus --help. So as you can see, there is a lot that we have several options here. -D, this is to set the Java properties. Turn on the verbose mode, and the other command, these are options. Then commands down here we have creating apps, CLI extensions, so you can create an app, or you can create a CLI command line project, or you can create a Quarkus extension project using the Quarkus command. That is the sub command of create. Then we have also the build. This is for building projects. The dev is actually for running projects in development mode, and it has live coding enabled. So that means as you're coding, your project always recompiles when you save, saving you time of compiling all the time. And we have other more extension registry, a lot more here. So you can go to the documentation of the CLI project for Quarkus and see what the details of all this means. But for now, we have it installed, and so we can use it on our computer. Next, we'll be looking at how do we now use this to create a new project. For example, it shouldn't be very hard. So as you can see from the help, that means we'll be doing Quarkus create. And so let us, for example, test it out. I'm going to create a small folder where I can put some of these projects. So I come here down into my folder for Quarkus, and I have a folder for the command line, and then some projects in here. So I am going to move into this folder here so that we can create our first project using the command line. So let me just come over here, cd into that folder, simply dragging it and dropping it into the terminal to get its path. So I'm at the folder. For now there's nothing there, and so we start testing out this Quarkus command. So let us say Quarkus create. Just that should get us a basic project with default initialized names. So let's just hit enter there. So as you can see, it's creating a default project, and okay, almost there. Okay, so the installation is the project creation is complete. As you can see, once done, it will bring this message: success, Quarkus project has been successfully generated, and you can navigate to it down here. So let's now ls in our project here, in our folder. Now we can see code with Quarkus project here. So let's cd into this folder, and as we can see, this is the Quarkus project. And so we're going to look at what it has initialized, especially we're interested in that pom.xml, and see what is in there. So maybe let me do a quick nano pom.xml. You can open this in any other editor, and so here we go. So what we have here is it has opened with this here is the default group ID that it will give the project, org.sme, and then the artifact ID will be the name that it gives it, and then it will be having a default version of 1.00 snapshot. And so this is the default scaffolding that it will do for us. And as you can see, it comes along with some of the dependencies, like the REST easy reactive, the JUnit 5 for testing. All these things are already on. Also, it comes with a build configuration, so you can build your project. And so this is a finished project. As a matter of fact, let me exit from here. Oh, I don't want to save anything. And so if I could open this project in my IDE, IntelliJ. So let's see. So IntelliJ is open. So we're going to open an existing project, because this project has already been created, and then we can look through the rest of the files that it has created. This is it. Proceed. Okay, there we go. Our project is set up. As you can see, there is also a README file in the project, and let's just check that from the ls here. There it is, the README. You can edit this if you want to tell people about what the project is all about. And down here we have the source package, and inside here we have the main, and we can look at the Java, and they also put in a default Java class for you. And we can look at what it is. As you can see, it is a very simple controller class, and it just exposes an endpoint, an API at /hero. And so if we run this project and code it out, it would actually return this to us from HTTP. And so other files in here are the resources, the application.properties. For now, there is nothing there, so it's still a default. The POM, we had already seen this. This is the pom.xml. Feel free to look through everything and try and understand how the boilerplate dependencies that come along with the project setup. Yeah, so basically that's how to use CLI to build a project. But then to create a project. So we can go ahead and create some, because we looked at it giving us a default group ID, artifact ID, and version value. So we can actually provide these for ourselves. So let's step out of this, and then we can actually create another project. So let's say Quarkus create. So let's say app. So we want to create an app called bar. And so at this point now, we have created an artifact ID. So bar would now be our artifact ID, and so Quarkus will not give us a default artifact ID. And so if we hit enter here, we should have a project called bar created in this folder of ours for projects. And there it is. This time it's quick. Previously it was downloading a few things, and now here we go, we have bar. And once we cd into bar here, still also we have the same setup. And if we put nano pom.xml, and there we go. So you can see our artifact ID is bar now, but our group ID is still on the default, as well as our version. And we can quickly look at how to also provide those. And so let's step out of the bar, And then so we have two projects, but then code with Quarkus, which was the default one. And then let's now do Quarkus create app. So now let's say say for example dot start solving, and then we'll make a project called Quarkus starter. Okay. So at this point now we have provided the group ID, which is the com.stack solving, and then given it an artifact ID called Quarkus starter. So it will create for us a project called Quarkus starter, and let's call this Quarkus starter. Project has been created. When we ls here, we can see it here, Quarkus starter, and once we cd into Quarkus starter, there it is. Same project, same folder layout as before, and we can nano here, nano the form, XML, and there we go. So now we have the group ID as com.stack solving, and then the artifact ID as the Quarkus starter. So the version is still on the default, but you can still go ahead and actually provide a version of your own. So let me just pick up this the same starter and maybe call this Quarkus medium. So let's say we have already graduated to medium Quarkus developers, and then we can now go ahead and provide the version here. So let's say we are developing version 1.0, and then hit enter. Project created, and when we take a look, sorry, that was a mistake. I think we created the project inside the project. So let's do that again. So let's get out of the Quarkus starter first of all, and then back to our projects folder, and then create that again. So when we ls here, there we go. We have our Quarkus medium. So let's cd into Quarkus medium, and there we go. So same thing, same structure. So let's nano the form.xml, and there we go. So our version now is 1.0. So these are the things you can use these are all the functions that you can access using the Quarkus command, and this helps you to create the Quarkus projects very easily, because as you can see, it puts all together the whole project. The boilerplate is there with us and everything, and so it lessens your time of having to start a project from scratch. And we can say, for example, the Quarkus create app project still has a lot more. So let's say if we want to see what's on there, so Quarkus create app, and let's try and seek some help. There you go, and all this is now possible, and so you can read through this and try and understand what you can do with the Quarkus create app project. And so these are the functions of the Quarkus command line interface, and feel free to just jump in and look through and try and use it. We said we could also run our projects using this, and so because we are already inside the Quarkus medium project, we can actually run this in development mode. So let's say Quarkus dev. So when you do that, it should run this project now in dev mode. So there you go, it's running, starting to run. It's downloading our dependencies, so give it a short time to set. It's still proceeding, downloading all the dependencies that it needs to get the project running. And this normally would happen every time. For example, for now, we have not run this project, so it's downloading all the dependencies. But as you are working, every time you add a new dependence, then Quarkus will will download that dependence quickly and then rebuild your project as live reloading. So this process is only slow at the beginning, but as you continue to code in your project, it gets faster as you add more. There you go. The download is almost done. Okay, so our project is almost getting ready. As you can see, the server has started and it's listening on localhost 8080. So our development mode starts a server and keeps running it at that. So at this point, it's listening for any requests. So let's get up the browser, the server. So let's just hit port 8080, and as you can see, the server gives us this page. Once you get this page, it means your server is running and saying congratulations, just made the Quarkus application. And so yes, that's how the dev command works. And so for now, you are able to run your applications in development mode using the Quarkus dev command, all part of the Quarkus command. So that's it. Thank you guys. Thanks for being around. And also remember, you can build this project for deployment on a server or something like that. Just look at the Quarkus build command. And so if let me just stop this server and just quickly run that Quarkus build dash dash home. There you go. This is what we can do with our build. So look through how to build and proceed with this tutorial and see if you can finish off by building your project. Thanks guys, and please, if you find this very useful, if you're starting to use Quarkus and this has helped you, like and subscribe because more content is coming along the way in the line of Quarkus on this channel. It's explicitly for Quarkus. Thank you very much. And so if Quarkus is your interest and you're starting to learn Quarkus, please subscribe, turn on reminders so that you can always get all the content that I upload in time. Thank you very much.